Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Of course, it's in a different flavor. There's not a whole heap of news that's getting circulated around. It's a lot of pundits that are doing a lot of conversation, a lot of talks at the moment. And one of the common theme that is floating around at the moment is that Chelsea are emerging as a real threat, ladies and gentlemen. This is the notion that is circulating around a lot. This over here is coming from Alan Shearer. Gary Lineker is saying the same tune as well. And I feel like it's time we sit down and actually really talk about this. Now, a lot of you guys might not appreciate this, might think, oh, here we go, Miz is being negative again. Or a lot of you guys might think, you know what, this is exactly what we wanted, realism. Now, this is what I want to bring here. I don't want to bring fluff. I don't want to bring overhype. I don't want to bring negativity. I want to bring realism. Now, with all due respect, Chelsea for the past couple of games have been really good. Bournemouth, to be honest, we got away with the win, but it was a resolute victory. It was a victory against a situation where things weren't going our way, but we still managed to get 3 points. I think that in itself is a big tick mark. And of course, against West Ham, we've absolutely dismantled them, albeit it's a particular opposition with the quality that they have this season under the new manager simply has not clicked. So I just want to say that, first of all, kudos to Chelsea Football Club, kudos to Enzo Maresca to be able to get the kind of results that we've got in recent times and get the team playing in some sort of quality football. And I want to praise Enzo Maresca for that. I definitely want to praise the players as well. It looks like they're putting in the hard yards. It looks like mentally they're far more focused this season and they want to do well. However, I do want to say that as a fan base, we need to calm down. Well, I'm definitely staying as calm as possible because for me, it's still early days. For me, I need to see consistency. And that is the word that I'm going to keep repeating a lot in this video. Consistency across the board, not just as a team, but across individuals as well, is very, very important. I don't want to get carried away with these two victories. Yes, I want to enjoy it. I want to cherish it as much as I can. But at the same time, I want to forget about them and look forward to the next matches. And I want to see Chelsea Football Club show a consistent amount of form in order for me to say Chelsea are emerging as a real threat. Literally, not that long ago, literally 2 games ago when we drew against Crystal Palace, or even when we lost against Manchester City, or even some of the topsy-turvy matches that we had in the preseason, some of these same pundits, Alan Shearer, Gary Lineker, Jamie O'Hare, and whoever else there are in social media or in the media world in general, they were literally mocking us and laughing at us, and 2 good results and they're back here again. This is what Enzo Maresca talks about. And we're going to touch base on that particular tweet. Enzo Maresca says social media, social network is too focused on results and they're not really looking at the progression, the development of the team. As I said, I've been in this road under the new ownership too long where it looks like it's about to take off and then it crashes gargantually in a unbelievable manner. So I want to stay calm and see the next sort of few matches that are coming along. Brighton at home, Nottingham Forest at home, and then we've got some big games. And that's the thing. How do we compete in the big games is the most important thing. So in regards to Chelsea are emerging as a real threat for what? What is the real threat are we talking about? Real threat to compete in the Premier League, to win the title? I think that is too premature to talk like that. Real threat to perhaps break into the top 4? That's something we can potentially talk about it. But as I said, let a few more games go by because I'm going to highlight a few things, and then, there is some truth bomb that's going to come from me in regards to certain areas where I still feel we're a little bit dodgy. Of course, there's some positives as well. We're going to gloss on some positives too. No problems about that. But what is the real threat? What is Chelsea emerging as a real threat as? For me, still, I maintain if we can get 5th or 6th this season, considering all the stuff, all the changes, I'll be quite satisfied, and then we can build on that next season. However, having said that, if the team outperforms, the team develops and progresses in a sensational manner, no problems, crack into top four, and make us all sort of be proven wrong, and that for me would 100% be an overachievement, and we should be aiming for overachievement 100%. So look, let's see. These same pundits will change their tune as soon as there is a negative result. That's all I'm saying. And there will be negative results this season. There will be negative results, but it's just a matter of how less frequent can we have these negative results, and then keep producing these really, really good performances predominantly all throughout the season. So yeah, Alan Shearer, he seems to be getting in regards to Enzo Maresca, he seems to be getting the best from the wealth of talent at his disposal. Chelsea are emerging as a real threat. And look, in some form, this is true. There is a lot of talented players, and he's getting the best out of them. But however, there are certain players where I feel like we can get more. And one really good thing that I like about Enzo Maresca is he's coming across as an authoritarian. He comes across as someone who demands respect, and I think the team is giving that. So he's in full control of that, which is fantastic. Gary Lineker, another team who are perhaps surprising up a little bit because of the madness at the club, is Chelsea. They got another good win at the weekend. Enzo Maresca is doing a good job. He's got them playing the way he wants them to play. Once again, he's got them playing the way he wants them to play is true to a certain degree, but there is still a lot of development still to happen. There's still a lot of hard work. I don't think we're absolutely rock solid in defense yet. I don't think we're absolutely rock solid in midfield yet. And I don't think we're always, capable of opening up the opposition at will up front. There's a lot of development that still needs to happen. And I get it. It's crazy to think it's all clicking into gears after the first 5 games. I know it's going to take time, and I know we have to be patient. But to say that, he's got them playing the way he wants them to play straight up, I think it's partly true. There's still a lot of room for improvement. Once again, people like Gary Lineker, people like Alan Shearer, who are laughing at the ownership and who are laughing at all of these players that we've brought in, and all of a sudden they're changing their tunes. Enzo Maresca, in terms of social network, I'm quite lucky because I don't have any social network. I know that people most of the time, I think they write things depending on if we win or we don't win. They probably don't have the time to focus on the performance and if it is good or not. They just judge us on the results. But overall, I think we also need to analyze the way the team is progressing. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely well said about Enzo Maresca. This is the thing I really like about Enzo. He doesn't fluff around with his information, whether it's in the press conference, whether it's post-match interviews. He's on point. When he needs to praise the team, he praises the team. When he needs to comment on the tactical flaws or some of the things that he disliked in the game, he's quite brutal about it. When he needs to talk about a particular player and be honest about it, he's very, very honest about it. So I like this from Enzo Maresca. Now, we're going to come back to the press conference in regards to Burrow down the track. Now I want to talk a little bit about some of the areas that we still need to work on. 3 definite areas and 3 players that I want to talk about. This is basically the truth bomb that I want to deliver. A lot of people are saying, as you saw, the pundits, that Chelsea are emerging as a real threat. And I just want to say, look, there is still some distinct issues, not a huge problem or anything like that, but can be. We do need to highlight these, and hopefully we can get these particular situations nicely set up so that we can judge down the track exactly if we are a threat or not. Number 1 I want to talk about is, ladies and gentlemen, Mudryk on that right wing. A lot of people are now already saying that this guy, what's happening? He's got that hat trick. All of a sudden, he's disappeared again. And in social media, Mudryk seems to be a problem already. And not that long ago, when he scored that hat trick, everyone was telling, in social media, that Mudryk is a huge player. There's no way we can drop him, this, that, the other. literally a few games later, now everyone wants him dropped and wants Pedro Neto to start, who is a quality player, deserves to start, no problems. But this is the thing. We literally shift our conversations based on results, based on 2 or 3 games. All I'm going to say about Madueke is, as I've always maintained, that he is highly inconsistent. However, there is a very, very good skill set in Madueke that we can hone in on and turn him into a fantastic footballer. Madueke's real problem is up front, whether to release a pass, whether to carry the ball, whether to shoot, whether to pass and get an assist. That seems to be his problem. And this is something I feel like the manager can sit down with him, show him videos of the matches that he's been involved in, and show him areas where he's making these incorrect decisions. And he comes across a particular player to me who will take in these feedback and try and rectify, some of these things. So for me, Madueke, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about him being a bad player. It's not about him being a selfish player. Maybe there is a tad bit of selfishness there, but sometimes you do need to be selfish. Maybe there is a little bit of ego there. And as I said, sometimes there needs to be a little bit of ego. But the bottom line with Madueke is, how do we make sure that inconsistencies that he shows, 1 week he'll score goals, 2-3 weeks he won't. How do we eradicate that and get his mentality to a point where, instead of dropping 9s or 10 out of 10s in one game and then disappearing for the next 4 or 5 games where you're dropping 4s and 5s, how do you maintain a 7 and an 8 all throughout? That is what Chelsea Football Club needs. You need to produce 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 on a regular basis. You don't necessarily need to score goals or assist goals on every single match, but you do need to have solid performances and be there for the team. So that's one thing about Madueke where I feel like there is a distinct issue there that we need to rectify before we can start thinking about Chelsea's emerging into a big thing. Pedro Neto as well, he needs to still adapt, and João Felix and all these kind of players, even Jadon Sancho, it's still early days. They're still finding their feet in terms of their fitness and whatnot. So we need to polish that area up. Second one, Nicholas Jackson, another player, ladies and gentlemen, off the back of the 2 goals against West Ham. Now everyone thinks, he is the number 9 that Chelsea Football Club needs, this, that, the other. Once again, I reiterate, he's a very good player. There's a lot of things Nicholas Jackson does, which is fantastic, and we've always praised. But once again, not that long ago, literally games before the games before the West Ham one, where he scored the brace, people were talking down. He was missing opportunities. He missed opportunities against Bournemouth, and so on and so forth. People were talking about getting a striker. We're so desperate to get a striker. I'm still thinking we probably need a bona fide striker. However, if Nicholas Jackson continues in this form, and once again, similarly with Madueke, 8s and 9s, 7s, 8s, 9s, like that's the area that I'm looking for. Drop some 7s, 8s, don't have stinkers. Scored 2 goals, don't now go and play the next game where you're dropping a 4 or a 5. You have to have some level of consistency. This is the most important factor. And for Nicholas Jackson, the other important factor is big goals, big games. That's how people are going to remember Nicholas Jackson. You want to play for Chelsea Football Club and you want to do well for Chelsea Football Club. You want fans to remember you. Fans will remember you based on doing well in especially big games. It's great when you're scoring goals against oppositions that are looking a little bit shady. And I'm not saying West Ham is like that. West Ham's quality team. But it is also need to be said that they haven't started this season well. I want to see Nicholas Jackson be a difference maker against your Liverpools, your Arsenals, your Newcastles, Man United, so on and so forth. That's where I need Nicholas Jackson to rise and show that, Chelsea Football Club, you don't need to get a striker. So striker position is still, for me, a question mark until I see immense level of consistency. Third one, there's quite a few, but I'm going to stop at the third one, is the midfield scenario. Now, I've been getting a lot of heat. It's funny. Social media is so strange. when I was praising Enzo Fernandez, everyone used to say to me, "Oh, this guy's an Enzo lover. You can't say anything negative about him. He doesn't want to listen. Miz is biased." And now when I'm constructively criticizing his game, now people are saying the other ways, "Oh, this guy's, he's an Enzo hater. He sounds like Rory Jennings, this, that, the other." You can't seem to get a middle balance. All I'm going to say is, once again, if we're trying to keep things real, just like all the other players that I've just mentioned, Enzo Fernandez is another one where literally not that long ago, a lot of people were upset about how easily opposition at times run through Chelsea Football Club, how easily they can bypass the midfield. Romeo Lavia, ladies and gentlemen, who has featured all throughout this particular pre-season. He was there in the first few games. And we can all say categorically he was one of our best midfielders before he got injured. Athletically, he was looking fantastic, and on the ball, he was looking fantastic as well. Caicedo in recent times has shown on the ball brilliant, and off the ball excellent as well. Enzo Fernandez, I've always maintained, there is no issue about Enzo Fernandez when it comes to ball playing. I think his ball play is excellent, even though in recent times, even that wasn't clicking. I might have been a bit harsh when it came to the West Ham game. I think West Ham game, on the ball, he was actually pretty good. But the issue with Enzo Fernandez, we have seen it. When there is a quality team that's going to come at us, and they're going to have coordinated press, and they're going to be eager to win duels and win the second ball in midfield, that's where I want to see Enzo Fernandez really show the dog in him, the way he does at Argentina. When he's playing in Argentina, he's getting stuck into duels. He's getting, he's winning the second balls. This is what I want to see at Chelsea Football Club. I feel like at times Enzo Fernandez, and I still remember Kovacic, Man City, the way he drove straight through Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. That is something we cannot accept at this level. Similarly with Wolves, first half, the way our midfield was getting outrun, we cannot have that. We simply cannot have that. So there is still issues in midfield. The balance is very, very important. In my opinion, the balance, once you come across top quality teams, the balance is exposed 100%. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the areas. Obviously, in defense, Levi Colwill is doing well. However, there is still question marks in regards to Wesley Fofana. A lot of people are saying Wesley Fofana played as a right back. It was a makeshift right back. For me, he wasn't a right back. It was a back three. It was a back three in a tilted formation, if you have a look. Levi Colwill was playing as LCB. Tosin was playing through the middle. And Wesley Fofana was playing as a RCB. Wesley Fofana wasn't a right back where he was bombing up and down. He was playing as a RCB. And it was a back three. And off the ball, whenever the opposition had the ball, Cucurella would slot in the left back position. So on the ball, it was a back three. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, these are just some of the few things that I wanted to highlight, that we as a football club, we need to stay humble. We need to stay calm. Great performances so far. However, there is still a lot of room for improvement. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that Chelsea are back? The Chelsea is back, that we are emerging as a real threat at the moment. Let me know your thoughts, if that's what you believe, or if you think otherwise, in the comment section. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya. Bye.